All right, everyone, buckle up. We're about to take a deep dive into the world of a creature that's as mysterious as it is fascinating.
Mysterious is right. We're talking about the Pacific Giant Salamander.
And yet, it's not just any salamander. This is one of the biggest guys in North America. And it's right here in our backyard, in the forests of Washington State.
You know what's really amazing to me? This salamander is a master of disguise. It can blend right into the forest floor.
It's true. We actually had a listener send in some excerpts from an article all about it called The Pacific Giant Salamander, a hidden gem of Washington State. So we're diving deep into that today.
Yeah, let's uncover what makes this creature so incredible.
So first up, paint us a picture. What does this giant salamander actually look like?
Okay, imagine a salamander that can grow up to 13 inches long.
Whoa, hold on. That's bigger than my hand.
Exactly. They're these long, slender creatures with smooth, moist skin and their coloration. Well, it's perfect for hiding out in the damp forests.
Camouflage is key, right?
Absolutely. They've got this mottled brown and gray pattern that helps them blend seamlessly with fallen leaves and stream beds. They practically disappear.
So we're not talking about bright, flashy colors here.
Not at all. It's all about blending in, staying hidden. You know, think of places like the old-growth forests of Olympic National Park or the Cascade Mountains.
Ah, those pristine environments.
That's their ideal habitat. Cool, fast-flowing streams, dense canopy cover. It's all about that cool, moist environment.
Now, when we think of salamanders, we often picture them lurking under rocks.
You're spot on. These guys are nocturnal. They spend their days tucked away in those shady hideouts.
So they come out at night. What are they up to when the sun goes down?
Well, it's dinner time. They're out hunting for all sorts of tasty treats.
Okay, give us the menu. What does a giant salamander eat?
Pretty much anything they can get their mouths on. We're talking insects, snails, worms, even small fish and other amphibians.
Whoa, so they're not just little bug eaters.
Nope, they're opportunistic predators. And they play a crucial role in keeping those populations in check.
It's all about that balance, right? Now, I've heard something about these salamanders having a rather unique defense mechanism, something you wouldn't expect.
You're thinking about the bark.
The bark? Wait, they can bark like a dog.
It's not exactly a dog's bark, but it's a sharp, startling sound that they use to scare off predators.
Can you imagine? You're a predator thinking you've got an easy meal and
But
suddenly...
it's a bark. It's enough to send them running in the other direction.
I bet it is. Now let's talk about their life cycle. They start as eggs in the water, right?
Right. The females lay their eggs in these clear, cold streams.
And then what?
Those eggs hatch into larvae, and these little guys have external gills so they can breathe underwater.
Like little tadpoles.
Exactly. They're fully aquatic at this stage. But then something amazing happens. They go through metamorphosis and transform into their adult form.
And that's when they lose the gills and head to land.
Well, not always. Here's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Some Pacific giant salamanders actually stay in their larval form their entire lives.
Wait, they never fully transform?
Nope. It's a phenomenon called neoteny. It's an incredible adaptation that allows them to take advantage of resources in the water that they wouldn't have access to as adults on land.
It's amazing. Nature is so full of surprises. So we've talked about individual salamanders, but how do they fit into the bigger picture? Why should we care about these creatures?
That's a great question. They're a vital part of their ecosystem. They're both predator and prey, which means they help maintain balance in the food web.
So they're like a keystone species, keeping things in check.
Exactly. By controlling insect populations, they protect plants. And they're also food for larger animals like birds, snakes, and even some mammals. It's all interconnected.
But they're facing some serious challenges, right?
Unfortunately, yes. Habitat loss is a major threat. Logging, urbanization, agriculture, all of these things are destroying their forests.
And that means less space for them to live and thrive.
Exactly. And pollution from runoff and sedimentation is also a big problem. It degrades their stream habitats, making it harder for them to survive.
And then, of course, there's climate change.
Climate change is a huge factor. You know, they need those cool, moist environments to survive, and those are becoming increasingly rare.
So it's a pretty dire situation. But are there any efforts being made to help them?
There are. A lot of people are working hard to protect these creatures. Conservation groups are pushing to protect old-growth forests, restore degraded habitats, and even create corridors to connect fragmented populations.
That's good to hear. So what can the average person do to help?
There are a few things. You can support organizations that are working to protect these salamanders and their habitats. You can reduce your own environmental impact by making sustainable choices. And, simply spreading the word.
So learning more about these creatures is a great first step. And maybe, just maybe, this deep dive has inspired some folks to get involved in conservation efforts.
I hope so. These creatures are truly fascinating, and they play such an important role in our ecosystems. They deserve our protection.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of the Pacific Giant Salamander. Until next time, folks.